What's going on, everybody? It's Jack and Lockie from the Hardwood Rundown podcast. This is episode 4 of The Return.
Yes, sir.
Today's teams we're going to be previewing for the season are Sacramento Kings and Toronto Raptors. Let's start with the Kings.
All right.
You can go first.
Yeah, so Lockie's former team for a reason. Actually, not the worst. No, not the worst year considering all the camaraderie that they had. Obviously, Fox a huge year but missed some games. Tyrese Halliburton really showed up in his rookie year. Double-digit points, really good assist numbers for a guy coming in the league, especially on the Kings. Bagley disappointing once again. He just can't hit his strides. I don't know what it is. Just get him out of there. I think I was just telling Lockie before they should really try and package a few pieces and try and just get something big. Like why don't you a package with like Bagley, Healed, I don't know, another up and coming player maybe to the Sixers. I don't know.
Yeah.
This, or even to Toronto for Pascal, which we'll probably cover in a bit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, there's so many different things that you can do with your team. And I feel like Vlade Divac doesn't understand what's out there.
Yeah.
That's not a knock on him. That's just like, there's so many opportunities where you can make your team better. And for the better part of 10 years, you haven't done that. You obviously in 2016, traded DeMarcus Cousins, or 2017, I can't remember, for Buddy Hield and a packet of crackers. I think their front office doesn't really know what they're doing, but it's been like that for a long time.
Yeah,
so it doesn't really surprise me
or anything.
I just don't think they don't know. Like, I don't know. You could trade half your team and get some good pieces back that'll actually help you can like make the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's all fans. That's all the Kings fans want is just to make the playoffs. They haven't made the playoffs in years. But yeah, obviously poor season again, but not surprising. Hassan Whiteside used terribly. He barely played. He averaged like under 10 and 10 by a big margin. Luke Walton, terrible coach, fire the man. He's not a good coach.
Yeah, I never really been too fond of him.
I think in LA you really saw how bad he was of a coach. And even in the first few years in Sacramento, nothing. No playoffs, barely any wins, terrible year. Actually last year, before this season we're talking about, last year they actually had a good year and they just missed the playoffs. They had a really good year. But I just think Luke Walton is not the right coach for that young of a team. I thought someone like Chauncey Billups would be good.
He'd be perfect with the guards, yeah.
Well, because I think they just need a coach that can develop young players. And Luke Walton, obviously, his first year coaching was coaching LeBron.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't really care because it's not my team. But still, I feel bad for the Sacramento fans.
Yeah.
Let's start with your wins and all that. I want to hear your stuff, and then we'll go mine.
They had 31 last year. I see them digressing. I say 28. They had like their best year in the past 5 years, 2 years ago, like you said.
Yeah.
And I don't see them advancing on that. Unfortunately, about how the front office is a bit inadequate. I'd say they're like trying to play the lottery game, but front office is trying to play for picks and trying to develop through the draft, but the players aren't really helping that. And that's not the players' fault because they're trying to win. But if they're trying to develop through the draft, they need to trade some of the assets that are keeping them out of the lottery or keeping them, I guess, away from those better picks. I'll go, so like sneaky star, I'll go Terrence Davis. He showed like really good promise in with the Raptors. And now it is Sacramento is guard heavy, but like I still see him as he can have a really solid year, like a 15 a game type of thing, hopefully. Impact play, I've got Maurice Harkless because the way I really like the way he plays. I watched him in flex, but I watched him in New York with the Knicks. And just like the way he played, it was just one game that I saw from him, but like the way he played, he just like makes a big impact when he's out there, does all the little things. Pretty good 3-and-D player. Davian Mitchell, I think Davian,
Yeah.
that's how we say it. He's based off his summer league performance, he's like a dog. Like he's defensively, he's like right there. He's physicals, he's right there as well. Like he's got so much promise, and he can have that like Marcus Smart impact. Team MVP, I'd go Hield or Fox. That's pretty obvious, and I'll go De'Aaron Fox because I feel like Hield has hit his ceiling with Sacramento. And because he's had issues with the front office, he got benched for some reason. Like there's been issues, so I really don't see him having that big year, but we'll see. Rising star, Halliburton. His rookie year was great. He's a really like, as a tall point guard as well. Like he's got a lot of promise. Coming off the bench, it's a bit weird, but hopefully he can get a start. Maybe he can. I don't know how they can organize that. And I also got Mitchell there for like a rising star. And just general notes, like they're pretty weak inside. They got plenty of guards. That's what I kind of worry. They're kind of like who we did before.
Magic?
Yeah, kind of like the Magic. A lot of guards, but kind of weak inside. They don't have a strong veteran presence. Like Harrison Barnes is like the main veteran.
Probably, yeah.
I forgot he was on there. No, but he's like he's a solid scorer, but he's not a strong veteran presence. The stars like Hield and Fox are like second option stars, if that makes sense. Which
I can't believe we're saying Hield is a star. I think on the team he is, but like
yeah. In terms of on the team, that's the thing. Yeah, he's a second option, even third option star, same as Fox. It just limits their potential.
Yeah,
but yeah, 28 wins. I see them digressing by 3. What about you?
I just put less than 35 and that's the same as the Raptors, just to get ahead there. Because I feel like it's a bit hard. They're in that range though.
Yeah.
Davian Mitchell, rising star. He'll be the 6th man probably, but man, like you said, he's a dog. He fights for everything. He's just got that killer instinct. That I think can really help the Kings. I don't think they'll make the playoffs again, but they'll probably be around that same like 11, 12 spot. Yeah. And like, I don't know. I want them to like contend for the playoffs, but they just know they're not going to.
Yeah. They're still going to be around that 11, 12 spot or like 10. Like,
yeah, I think that's going to be like that for a while.
That's no man's land as well. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You're not helping yourself in the draft.
No,
or anything.
nothing. Like, shit. It's a shit spot to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you're saying, they're obviously very guard heavy. I would wonder if they would do a trade or something during the season to try and beef up the front court. Because right now, who you got like Alex Len, Marvin Bagley. They've re-signed Rashawn Holmes.
That's solid.
Who is really good.
Yeah.
But like, they don't have fantastic, like really good. Honestly, I would do what I said before, Hield, Bagley, and another piece for a big that can affect your culture in the best way possible. It's not so much about winning. I think culture is it. I think it's because they haven't won in so long. They don't know what winning's like. You need to bring in pieces that know what it's like to win. The only player they have that knows what it's like to win is Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, that's all.
That is it. They don't know how to win. Davian Mitchell was in the he was obviously with college, knows what it's like to win, but like none of these players have felt the NBA, like what it's like to win in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like I think you just got to bring in pieces that know that, like, especially for a young team like that. Most improved, I've gone with Tyrese Halliburton. He is going to have a crazy second year. I hope he averages like 20 points.
Wow.
He's really good.
Yeah.
He's like the real deal. The backcourt of Halliburton and Fox, not too bad defensively,
Hmm.
really good offensively. I just think it works, and I think you have to start him. He was coming off the bench last year.
Hmm.
I think they'll kind of do the same thing with Davian Mitchell after what they did with Halliburton last year. They'll start Mitchell off the bench, and then I think maybe they might go like really small ball and try and fit Davian Mitchell, Darren Fox, and Tyrese Halliburton on the court at the same time, which could
Yeah.
actually work. You never know.
Yeah, that could work. Definitely.
Team MVP, obviously, De'Aaron Fox. He'll have another monster year, I hope. He was really good last year, but again, the team success kind of affected his status in the league, I would say. I don't watch a lot of Kings basketball, therefore I don't watch a lot of De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
The only time I watch De'Aaron Fox is when I want to watch a few highlights before I go to bed. Okay, here's a big one. Sneaky star. I've gone Marvin Bagley. I know I've just said that they should probably trade him.
Yeah.
But I think it's time. And this is the year where if he doesn't play good, that's when you know he's not good.
Yeah.
If he doesn't average, like, he's not even averaging bad numbers. He doesn't average bad numbers, but the hype that he was getting in the draft, how good he can be,
Yeah.
it's not that good. And I think this is the telling year to NBA front offices and the Kings to see like if he's good or not.
Yeah. And if he wants to be actually traded to a good team, he needs to show it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He needs
And
to
if he wants to get paid, he's got to show it. Like, there's so many factors going into this year for him. But yeah, that's my sneaky star. And yeah, that's the Kings.
Fair enough.
That's the Kings.
All right. Raptors. So I've got them +6 this year. They were 29 last year. I got them at 35.
Nice.
I still not sure of playoffs yet, just based off how they've been without Kawhi, and then losing Kyle Lowry.
Still sad.
Yeah. Rest in peace. Not really. I know why. Yeah, but I see with a bunch of factors of them can get them those like +6 wins, and even I could even see them push them 40 wins if they can actually have a healthy season. But yeah, so like Fred VanVleet coming back, a full season with Gary Trent can be like, we want to actually see what he's made of, and another expected improvement from OG Anunoby. And hopefully Pascal can learn to have an improvement, but he doesn't have to be that number one star. We know we kind of realized last season he's not that number one man.
Yeah.
But even if you just have somewhat of an improvement, like that's great. They can be happy with that. Because like my sneaky star is I've got Gary Trent Jr. because I think he can become a real productive player. But also I've got OG Anunoby. Yeah. I really want him. I see a lot of Kawhi with him and his how he started, and like he's slowly gotten better every year, and like he's generally like a reserve guy as well. Like I want him to have that like breakout season of just a 20 a game. That's what Kawhi had back with the Spurs. He had moments where he's like proved himself to be a scorer.
Yeah.
I just want to see that more during the season. Impact player, I've got Chris Boucher.
Chris Boucher. Yeah.
He's really solid. Like as like a defensive like specialist, and like he can hit the three. He's got like a really because he's like a forward, but like he can play the center spot.
Yeah.
He's a really solid piece for them. He was like leading them in blocks last year. Precious Achua.
Yeah,
like I gotta get these names down, but he's a really like high energy big, kind of like Rashawn Holmes, I think, just like full of.
I agree.
Run and dunk, full of energy. Team MVP, I've got Fred VanVleet if he can play a full season, or OG because I want to see him get to that get that next echelon. Rising star, Scotty Barnes, and probably there's not many other young pieces on that team, and he's got the most promise. But yeah, hopefully Fred VanVleet can take that number one like option spot and really and run with it. I see him similar to the Timberwolves, is that they got Pascal, Gary Trent Jr., Fred, and like OG, 4 guys who can average like 20 a game.
Yeah.
Now, not as solid as the Wolves in terms of that 4, but I still see them as a group who can, put around like 20 a night. And it's just whether that system can allow for that. But yeah, 35 wins. They definitely need to. They're going to improve. They have to improve.
Yeah, I think they will. So yeah, they missed the playoffs. They traded Lowry. Not trade. Well, kind of.
Yeah,
kind of trade
because they got Dragic.
They got Dragic back. Who I think will have not a bad year. He'll probably start actually, and I reckon they'll have Fred at the 2 again. Yeah, so really poor start to the year last year, and that was kind of the way the rest of the year went. I honestly did not even know that they were like a bottom team. I didn't even know they were out of the playoffs when probably halfway through the season, near the end of the season. I honestly thought they were in the playoffs. It's like, how bad are the Raptors going? Like, I didn't know.
Completely forgot about them.
I looked and I was like, shit, not too good. Must be because they're in Tampa. They obviously traded Norman Powell for Gary Trent and Rodney Hood. Is Rodney Hood still on the team? I have no idea.
I don't think so. I swear he was on another
I don't know.
He was on another team that we were
one
of the previous teams that we were looking at.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fred missed most of the year with injury and just a really inconsistent year from Pascal Siakam. No one expected it. I didn't expect it. But yeah, I got less than 35, but 35. Like I'm around the same with you, around that area. And then I just think there's only room to grow. You've got such a good team, a great coaching staff, a great city behind you. I just think you've got all the pieces to grow, like only grow.
Yeah.
Rising star got Scotty Barnes. He can just affect the game in so many ways: offense, defense, creating buckets for others, and just being that real team player. Him and OG actually both remind me of Kawhi.
Right.
I think they're both kind of similar. But I think Scotty Barnes is more like outspoken and like more out there than OG. I think that's the only difference. And obviously OG is a better scorer, I think, than Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
Most improved, I've gone OG for obvious reasons. He's going to have a breakout year. He'll be really good. Being the third option on a team trying to make the playoffs, I think he'll really shine. Team MVP, I got Freddie or Siakam, either or. I think they're co-MVPs in this.
Yeah.
Because I can't really pick one. If I was to pick one, I'd probably pick Fred because I don't know. I think I'd pick Fred instead. Sneaky stars. Now this one is a bit random. I got Malachi Flynn. Yeah, he'll be coming off the bench. He had a really good summer league. Yeah, he has all the pieces to be a really good player in this league. I think he'll be really good next year. His sophomore year will be definitely a breakout year. I could have put like most improved or rising star, but I think sneaky star. Not a lot of people are going to know about him or what he's been doing. He's just going to be that guy that's progressively getting better, averaging good numbers. But it all depends on minutes. I think he'll be the backup point guard. I don't think there's any way he's not the backup point guard. And then I got Chris Boucher. He'll be the starting center. He had a good year last year, like you said. Elite rim protection. 3-point shooting. Kind of all you need in a center in the NBA. And I think he'll be really good again. But yeah, hoping for an improved season by the Raptors. There's only room to grow. But yeah, that's my Raptors take. That's our Raptors and Kings take. So next episode. Any final thoughts?
I was gonna say, I'm looking through the lineup at the moment. Their tallest player is 6'9". They don't have an actual
the Raptors.
center, which is a bit worrying. But yeah, like they really don't like have like a real dominant big. So like that's where they're gonna struggle, I guess, this year. That's something to note.
I think that's true. They don't have a big body kind of thing, but like I feel like Chris Boucher is very versatile.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're headed. I think that's a good option as well. But yeah, I don't know. Never really thought about that. That's a good idea. Maybe like a Marvin Bagley trade.
Yeah. I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, bitch. But yeah, I got no more final thoughts, Lockie.
I'm good. I'm more keen to watch the Raptors this year.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah,
with everyone back, hopefully healthy.
Yeah, definitely.
I like your pick of Malachi Flynn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I did not even think about him in terms of that sneaky start, but like based off what I saw a bit of him last year, like that's an interesting pick. But yeah, I'm excited for the Raptors, but no playoffs.
Yeah, no playoffs for either team. We're getting to that mid-tier range at the moment. I think I don't know who we got next episode. Maybe like the Spurs. Maybe
we got next episode. We've got Bulls and the Pelicans.
Bulls and Pels next episode.
Yeah, Bulls.
We're gonna try and get our boy Harry on to try and talk about the Bulls. If you enjoy the content, be sure to subscribe. Stay up to date with all the content through our Instagram. Like and comment on the video. Let us know your thoughts for the upcoming season. You just watched listened if you're on Spotify and Apple Music. We're on all platforms.
Yeah, shout out to everyone
worldwide.
All different platforms.
Shout out. I feel like I forgot to shout out someone.
Oh yeah, what should be my shout out for the episode?
Nah, someone I swear. Oh, shout out Alec Durrani. Man's been watching listened to every episode. It's his only fix of basketball you can get at the moment. So shout out to you.
What a mad dog. Thank you. Shit. Wherever you are. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was episode 4.
Let's go.
Bang. Let's go.